Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome to what is something a little bit different. You can see now I'm building a time lapse of a brand new map in Cities Skylines, and this is because we're going to be starting a brand new series called The Fool's Kingdom. Now there's lots of stuff I need to tell you guys about this brand new series, and I actually don't know where to start. So let's just go through it step by step. As you can see right now, I'm building a map that is complete ocean, and I've got a small, well, kind of smallish island in the middle, and this is going to be our very own country, the Fool's Kingdom, our own kingdom, and that we're going to build, survive and thrive upon. Now surrounded on this island is going to be many other different islands, and each of those islands are going to contain a different kingdom or a different country, so to speak. So we have, which is pretty much going to be like the real world in a way, we have our country and we're surrounded by many other countries. Now this is where it gets really interesting. So before I jump in and explain exactly what's going to happen, I just want to say as well, guys, I'm bringing the comments back to the start of each episode of the Fool's Kingdom series. So think back to Oil Town and think back to Fish Town, where I was kind of, put in you guys' hilarious comments at the start of each episode. I'm bringing it back, boys. I'm bringing it back right now. I see you guys want me to add them in recently. I thought this would be the perfect series to do it. So make sure you start commenting some hilarious stuff. So basically how this series is going to work then is, again, we've got our own little country in the middle, as you can see that I'm building right now. We're surrounded by many other islands, and each island is going to have its like own designated resource in many ways. Now Fool's Kingdom has nothing. It has no farming land, no ore, no oil, not really good fishing grounds and all that kind of jazz, but each of these individual countries are going to have their own speciality. Like some countries will be rich in oil, some countries rich in ore, rich in farmland, great fishing grounds and so on, and like filled with trees and forestry area, which the Fool's Kingdom kind of needs to take advantage of these countries. So we kind of have to form alliances, make friends, make enemies to try and reap the benefits from what these other countries produce, so Fool's Kingdom can thrive. Now my inspiration for this is, and we all know your boy's British, the British Empire. Just think back kind of, in the history of the British Empire. They started sailing the seven seas, finding these faraway lands and just kind of taking all of their natural resources and then bringing them back to the UK. And the old saying goes, the sun never sets on the British Empire, the sun will never set on the Fool's Kingdom. So we're kind of limited to the game's limitations, so we have to use our imagination half the time to create really fun little storylines, play out fun little scenarios and stuff like this, so we can try and make friends with some countries, have enemies with certain countries, try and create trade deals, and so basically you have to try and make the Fool's Kingdom really powerful, so we have a lot of influence in this world, and we have to make sure that some countries don't get too big for their boots, or we might have to invade and take over. So what I've kind of done is, again, like I said before, these islands, as you can see right now, some have specializations like with oil, with forestry, farming, great fishing lands, and again, Fool's Kingdom has none of it. So we have to assert our dominance, make trade deals, and maybe at some point we turn our backs on those allies and then completely take them over. Now to make it a little bit more interesting and easy to understand how it's going down, I've used the region tool to put around each of the islands so we can see which kingdom it is, and I'm gonna need you guys to give me some really sweet name suggestions for these kingdoms. Now it's a little bit difficult to ask for suggestions straight away because we don't really know how the series is going to play out. We don't know what storylines are going to evolve from what we're doing in this series, which is quite exciting because I don't know what's going to happen, you guys don't know what's going to happen, so together it's going to be really entertaining. So I wonder if we can be the ultimate kingdom. I wonder if we can come out on top and we can, you know, forge these alliances and try and kind of, you know, benefit from what other countries produce. And that is pretty much what this series is about. Trying to benefit from the other countries to make our country the greatest country that has ever lived. Does that sound familiar? It does to me. And what's great as well is we can kind of create free travel to other countries. Like, you know, like we have like some countries you don't need a visa to visit, but then some countries you need to kind of get a visa or a work permit, or some countries have closed borders with other countries. We can kind of replicate that in this game. So we can see right now I'm building this small little island at the edge of the map because, again, due to the game's limitations, we need a highway connection and a train connection. So we're just going to kind of ignore this. It's not going to be the USA like in Oil Town. I ain't going that far. But what's going to be good as well, we can use the toll booths to kind of create guarded borders. We can have ferries set up for free travel. We can even close some of the borders to other countries. So you can see right now that I'm placing down all the regions to create these individual countries. No one's going to live in there from the get-go, so as the series progresses, we slowly build those countries up. It all comes down to what we kind of need in the long term. But it is going to be really, really exciting. So the great thing is I'm going to let you guys name the countries as well. And I know there is 2 countries that are very close by that look very similar, that are separated by a small bit of water, which I kind of had the idea to build those from North and South Korea. Maybe we can have like one country that nobody likes and everyone's scared of, and we can put the space, like is it the Chirp X space rocket on there, as if they've got like mass weapons, nuclear weapons or something like that. That would be quite terrifying. It really, really would. Just thinking about that right now creates a whole storyline in itself. So I'm really excited for this, guys. So if you're hyped for this little series, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you aren't already, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when this series starts and these episodes do come out. But I've tried my best to kind of add in a bunch of different cool scenarios, different types of countries that we can build and kind of set up and whatnot. But as you can see right now in this map, this is pretty much the layout. There might be a few more countries that appear out of nowhere. Again, it all comes down to how the storyline plays out, what entirely happens, but it ain't too shabby. It ain't too shabby. So I pretty much named our island the Fool's Kingdom, and I went around renaming all the other countries. I think I named it Unclaimed Kingdom. As you see just then, the 2 countries looking pretty close to North Korea and South Korea. But it is pretty good. It's going to be very interesting. So again, just to recap, guys, I'm going to be featuring everyone's comments at the start of each and every episode. Every island is pretty much going to be its own separate kingdom, its own separate country. We are going to have to try and make the Fool's Kingdom the greatest country that ever lived. And by doing that, we need to forge allies, not create too many enemies. Reap the benefits what everyone else is producing. And in the long run, it's going to be very, very, very interesting. So guys, this is episode 0. Episode 1 will be starting very, very soon. I hope you guys will enjoy this series. Can't wait for it to start. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good.